it's not as fun as you think it would be. So this week was a bit crazy, and not in a good way. From having long board meetings, to sitting with my team again and again, to managing multiple different launches, traveling from one place to another in London, from podcasts to interviews to one-to-one calls to managing an online event and so much other things. The truth is, I don't want to be doing any of this stuff. And this is not what I enjoy as an entrepreneur. So one of the first things that I did this week was I sat down with a few of my senior team members. One was Carl, he's our CFO, James, who manages all of our brand portfolio, and Simone, who manages all the ops.
So call booked. So this will be coming automatically as calls get booked. Then at the moment, Jars manages it himself. So like deck or return to the call, follow up. We could think of the process.
We do this every 3 months to really understand what's going well, what's not. So the first thing we would do, and we sat down and worked out, was actually all the financials. One by one, every single client, we look at how much essentially money have we made per client versus the effort and that we put into them. And then do we think it's going to continue in that way? And or is something going to change? Because the truth is we have to adjust alongside the ambition of our clients. We have to adjust how much we're spending versus the return we're getting on a client by client basis. That's where a lot of agencies and businesses go wrong, that you're not meticulously looking at that. And a lot of it is how it feels or what you generally think and not looking at the underlying numbers. So we spend the initial half of the day doing that, understanding the numbers, and then we move to how are we going to grow from here as a business? Because one of the hardest things in having a large business with a lot of people and a lot of clients and a lot of money being made is that you can get complacent and you can also get very busy. So we are so busy that we have no time to grow. So one of the things for me is to try to tell the team that, hey, we got to still keep growing. We got to still be 3 steps ahead, not only from our competitors, but for our clients, so they think, we can do new things with them. For anyone that watches my content, that I'm a big believer of that you sell more to your existing clients to increase the lifetime value of your client. So in order to do that, you actually have to be strategic about it. So, I stood up on the board and I'm there coming up with ideas and we're brainstorming and it's great. I would advise anybody to take time aside and turn Slack off, etc., and try to actually sit and think about what is there we can do.
Context is that we have existing clients. They will keep going. We will keep trying to optimize and grow them. We have our JV businesses. We will keep trying our best to grow those so they are worth a lot of money. We're launching our own platform, which will allow us to, reach the world in a whole new way and monetize that. I dropped it in my class the other day about Pablo, and people wanted to sign up straight away. Then down to what we're doing and I guess our emails, funnels, world now. And if you watched the video I dropped yesterday, I actually walked through what funnel a business should have. And what I did was in my YouTube video, I'm actually saying to every business owner should be doing organic content, paid ads into a landing page with a video which says book a call with me. And how many businesses do that? None. None. And people are crying that my business isn't growing.
Whilst we're doing that, we're jumping on other people's funnels. We're looking at what other people are doing in live. Whilst what someone else is doing, you can immediately start thinking, okay, that's interesting. If someone's doing that, maybe that could work for us. Shall we do it?
So he's blown up quite fast in the last 2 years. So he's like us. Isn't because never had an agency. He runs one of the biggest agencies. And they do ads, social media, all that stuff. But then he's massively scaled and this is their funnel. So what they're doing is all ads go to, so it's a free 30-minute scaling growth map session. Basically it's the sales. But it's disguised as a 30-minute growth call for your business.
I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better.
If we kept doing it, is where we will win long term. Because what you want the wins to become yours. So the longer you engage in there, the longer it's all your success. So we need to be fully having Slack working. Okay, so we just finished off the strategy session. What we're really trying to figure out is how to evolve our business model to go after more clients, more customers, and trying to grow the business. When you get good at doing something, you always have to slow down and think and how to go do the next thing. And yeah, it was really good, was doing that. It's cool actually, whilst I was doing that, the promo for the new tonic, which is coming out, has just gone live. So the launch is this Thursday. Later on, I got to sit and go through all of that and I'll give you guys an update. I'm also about to stand and film some ads. So as the new business model is about to go live for Genflow, we got to film a lot
of ads, and that's what we're going to do in the next few hours. I spend all my time teaching other people how to do it. Sometimes we got to do it ourselves as well. So I think I'll start filming. One of the biggest things that we took away from this meeting is that we are going to go wider when it comes to Genflow in terms of the people and the businesses that we currently service. Obviously, historically, we've only serviced the top 1% of the world, biggest brands, biggest creators. But the truth is that whilst we are always hunting for the next big person to work with, on the other side, we have thousands of businesses that want to work with us, but we currently say no to them. So for the very first time, we have started to bring in smaller clients, as in smaller businesses, smaller online entrepreneurs, and we're helping them. I ran a test, and we've already done a few $100,000 this year. Just we threw up some ads, had some people, a mini sales team working through that, and it's starting to work. So from that, we realized this works, and now we're going to turn it into a thing. So that was the biggest takeaway. And now we're going to start the work and actually making that a thing. What's worse is that even when you buy your leads from, obviously it's just some company has just put that together. So it's just, that's why I keep getting shitty emails, because people think wherever some software has categorized like Genflow as. So you get, so the email is like, you need developers for whatever. Probably like how a board, and imagine on the board it says like, be my girlfriend, and you're standing there like, somebody please help. Because that's what this is, and like you're basically begging that as long as someone responds to me, great, I'm gonna get a client. You have no control over it. Even just the thought of like literally just spamming people.
I'm at a rare tip. Tell them I'll just stand down to the cup goal and the stands clear. I've been out running Top Gun in competition. They know who to be.
So another really cool thing this week was obviously our business New Tonic that we just raised 3.7 million for. This was actually the first time this week me having the final product, Blue Raspberry, which we launched this week, and it was pretty awesome.
New flavors here. So since we've gone live, we've never had a new flavor. So I need to put it in the fridge.
The whole thing was that we have to be so creative so it really stands out on social media. Because there's two ways to stand out, right? Either you're going to come up with like an angle or a hook or whatever, or it's a campaign and the visuals. So the whole idea was that we're going to do a Breaking Bad style shoot. The team did an amazing job, like going to the US, like hiring all the RV, the desert, the full setup to give it that same feel. So the campaign, I was super, super happy with the way it's come out. And yeah, look, the other part of it is just the management of it. You have to be really on top of it. So for me, what I was focused on is communicating with Chris, James, Luke, the New Tonic team, and just making sure everything is good, down to our e-commerce, down to all the different touch points, making sure all the gifting has gone out. So we gift to like hundreds of people, and making sure they've reposted it, and just staying on top of like the promotion. The truth is you have to stay on top of it, as in I'm messaging Chris, James, their teams to be like, hey, we need to put this up. We need to make sure this post is out. Did you send your email? Making sure they send the traffic to the right links. So that's kind of stuff that I oversee, because I'm trying to make sure, it actually works, right? So we want all that traffic to come to the right places, dynamic links, all of that stuff. So we get the most, conversion possible.
Hit the scene and it's all green. On go, we ain't never doing small things. Being fitted for the crown, cause we all kings.
For the like whatever timeline you guys craft, and I'm sure Shan and I will look at our schedules for it. But that sounds perfect the way that you've organized it, and I'm good to be placed wherever you want me to be.
It's just a coaching offer, a live coaching offer, and I think there'll be a time where if you go out to market saying that we can help you launch your live offer, it will start to work. All right, so that was a call with June and the Credit College team. What's pretty cool is we've actually hit $1 million since we launched. It's actually been 120 days to get there. We're just about to launch the 4th VIP coaching cohort. So we do 100 spots, $2,500, and we're just working that out. We're actually running a free event as well. It's a great funnel for us. We run a free event straight into the cohort for you to join. So yeah, really cool. Just finished that up. Now, got to get back to doing some work. They did a study in the US, which was kids, the number one job kids want to do is actually become a creator. Why? Because it's entrepreneurship, right? Every single person dreams of being an entrepreneur. So there's this massive opportunity. Okay, so I just finished off filming. To be honest, it's currently 7:55, almost 8 o'clock. Still lots to do yet, because we have a board meeting tomorrow, and I've actually got to sit and now go through this deck and make sure it's all good what we're actually going to be telling people. And But the truth is that just a bit worried about tomorrow's meeting because obviously you have a lot of things that we're trying to do. Some things we're delayed on. I have to explain everything. So yeah, I've got that tomorrow. But before that, I've got a full day's work and the board meetings at the end of the day. And then I've got to take the board out for dinner as well. So yeah, it's just really back to back. Gonna have to work on this for the next few hours. Then yeah, head back to the Airbnb where I'm staying. And yeah, back up. And got to be back here in the office early morning. Got calls to do and everything else. But yeah, that being said, it's time to get back to work.
Like you say, put them in different areas. Or maybe we'll try like a warehouse shoot for one of them, and then a kitchen shoot for something else, and then a study shoot. Leave that with me. Nice.
Yeah, key thing is just to tap into different personas, right? So, but just through creative. So if you kind of dialed it in a bit more. Because I think even still standing outside a gym and if you're saying, are you a personal trainer not making content? Or then if you're like in a officey type thing or a co-working space or walking on the street, I think just anything that'll break up like the type of creative to the message, the more we can tie that together. To scale, we just need to have more variance now. So yeah, I just got to the office, have a call now with Laura, who's one of our clients, just about, we're doing a bunch of new stuff. So I'm going to speak to her. Then have to start making my way to BGF, our investors HQ. And first I'm sitting down for a coffee with like senior BGF to catch up. And then we have a board meeting after that. So that's the plan for today. And then I'm taking those guys out for dinner because I haven't seen them in person for a while. So yeah, that's the rest of the day. So lots of talking, been preserving my energy because it's going to be a long day from here.
Okay, Shan, what do you think could be done better for like my end? Because we're definitely pushing as much traffic as possible. So what else? Is it the messaging? Is it the product itself? Because it's just like a writing thing. Should we do like a money making challenge?
That's what I think we need to make content about, right? It's not like the people. This is about if I lost, how would I start again? It's like great. The people are not starting again. Wonderful. Looking at speed, great. Yep, be fast. But I would have it more tactical. So you're actually saying I would post 3 times a day, and it would be story, this, right? Like a bit more deeper. Someone that was trying to do it, but wasn't doing it right. And then you told them X and then that was the thing versus, so, one level ahead of not that start your personal brand or start in LinkedIn or LinkedIn. It's like the next level. Someone who's posting but we helped them make some sort of change which allowed them to then finally get results.
I ain't hold on to anything dragging me down. Wake up in the AM, say a prayer, then I leave out. Make sure when it come to us,
I think if you made a slick, like we can help you launch your course deck, lead magnets, funnels, ads or whatever. Even if they already have courses, the agents would be like, ooh, we can help grow the course. Yep. So we're not against you. We're saying if you already have a course, we can come in and be your like growth partner. And if you want, we'll even white label it, meaning that, it's, you can tell your client that we're part of your team now. How you want to dress it up. So we have 156 people on like a block list. We keep in the business. It's just like clients, agents, people that we have beef with. So it's 156.
How do you get on that list?
Either you screwed us over,
Forget Shan's birthday,
you were publicly hating on us, and just lots of other stuff. So yeah, 156. Young people call it an op list. It's my ops. So yeah, we're on our way to BGF, British Growth Fund. They're one of the biggest investors in Europe. I think they invest something like 600 million. So they invested in Genflow in 2021. It's actually crazy. So I went to BGF's office like in 2017, 18 or something. Someone introduced me to them. I went and had a meeting, and we always had like their thing that they give you in their office. And I took it back to our office, and it was there all those years. And then years later, I had a place here. I guess what's really cool about them is they're not like a traditional VC. So most VCs, when you raise money, they need to exit within 3 to 5 years because they've promised their investors a return. BGF is an evergreen fund. What that means is that they actually don't need to pay anybody back. So they're pretty relaxed. So obviously they've been in this now for almost 5 years, and they're still pretty chill, working on happy for like long-term growth. So that's the good thing. So, the secret to like managing stuff all the time on the go is that essentially you have like WhatsApp groups. This is now just an email come through for one of the teaser emails for new tonic for the new launch. So just approving that on the go. So just constantly. One of the best things I guess I've done is I've kind of designed a system that works for me, that people are sending me stuff like constantly that I'm like getting my eyes over. It's just because I'm like just a big believer of like I need to see and be part of it and see stuff. Even though it's not my job to put it together, other people are far, better at doing so. But I want to be across it all. So it's constantly like literally like content now that's been going, it's going to go out all this week. But I'm still checking each single piece just before it goes out. And to be honest, I love it because it's like the fun of it. Because you're like part of so many things at one time. Other things like right now, one of the guys was sending me, we are working on some new brand, logo concepts for that. Like, what do I think? So it's like, it's constant. It's just, again, the whole thing is designed in such a way that allows me to like very easily be across many, many, many different things.
What kind of things are you looking for in like the content that people send you?
To be honest, yeah, I'm probably like the check, which is like, I know what people want and people like. So I know if that's going to X client or X person that they wouldn't like this. So it's like instinctive check is what I am. Obviously, it's the team job to make sure tone of voice, brand, guidelines, all that stuff is being followed because that should be followed through a system. For me, it's just more like I'm eyeballing and saying that this or that. Like, do I like it? Because I'm normally like, I have good taste in like a lot of commercial stuff. So if I think it's good, it can go. Or do I pick something up that I think, no, I will change that. I wouldn't use that word. I wouldn't do this. So that final thing is what I do essentially. So normally what's a good rule of thumb if your business is scaling is that you should like kick off the project. So it's very clear how you see it's going to happen. And then at the very end, you should be the one doing like a final quick check. But the rest of it should be done by the team. And they should be good enough at like owning it, doing it, delivering it and all that stuff. That's essentially how I do it, end to end. How's it going?
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
How are you? You well?
Good, thank you.
Good.
When I went home, my GCSE and A-level results, like I was so bad at education. My A-levels I got B in Urdu language because I just knew it. E in maths.
E in maths.
Yeah.
And you became an accountant.
Yeah. Like E in maths, like E in economics, and B in Urdu. Like that was my results. And even GCSE was like, I think 2 C's and the rest are like all D's and E's. And the reports are like, you really need to take this seriously. At this point, you're not going to pass. So I took pictures of it all and I made content out of it.
I was going to say.
Yeah. I think that would be the thing, right? Because if it's slow, what are we doing about it? We're going to spend more on ads. I think if we spend more, we can potentially sell more than we think we're going to sell. The same joke, Jerry.
Is that corporate speak?
I got
It's going to be a trailer. Take a seat.
Something real, something raw, not accidental, no, I'm sure. You're not needed, show you the door, but what's that, yeah, are you sure? Yeah, that's a rental, yeah, what a bore. Lying.
I think for me, the clarity would just be, like what different options do we think are the possibilities here? Like brainstorming style, what do we need to go and figure out to then see what's the best next thing? Obviously, what's going to be. By that, we will launch Pablo. Numbers will come at some point. How good they are, obviously, that's the work we have to put in. How do you make a repeatable, JV model? Yes, that's the plan. Just have to go and map it all out and do all the work needed.
Show you the door. What's that, yeah, are you sure? Yeah, that's a rental, yeah, what a bore. Lying, nothing in the core. Buying, yeah, what for? But do what I need to, always sure.
Okay, so just got back, ended up being about 6 hours and then get the train back, etc. So it was very good. Obviously, with any like this situation, you have to so be on your A game. That it's exhausting because, conversation goes from one thing to the other. You have to constantly be on the lookout of like, the way you're presenting something, the way you're talking about something. And there's a few tactical things I've learned, if you have a big meeting, if you have something, is that you have to like know the room and on purpose say some things, don't say some things. It doesn't make you less smarter if you don't say something in the moment because that's like, it's no point saying it. And if someone else has a point, you should let them just say it because people just want to feel valued. Yeah, but it was great though. Basically, we're in the best position we've ever been. And now it's about like, how do we grow faster? What else can we do? What do we really know that we can capitalize on? Truth is, we're working on many, many different things. Yeah, it was good. It was actually our first in-person in a while because obviously I'm been in Dubai the most recently. So being here in London, sitting down with the guys and really like talking about it. It's an amazing feeling though because the meeting was only meant to be like a few hours. We end up staying there for so long, which is like amazing because everyone's there, talking about how to grow the business. Obviously, a business that I'm an owner of. So like it's a very great place to be. Yeah. just ordered some food. It's time to eat and it's time to relax. Then I gotta check all the messages. The downside is that if when I have a day like this, which is amazing, just the other side now is like, a lot of messages to get back to, a lot of stuff happening. Still because, Newtonic is launching this week. We have a credit college event. So many other things are happening. Client calls, some pitches I'm working on, some interviews I need to do, lots of things to review. So it doesn't end, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. So as I said earlier, we've already started bringing in some small business owners. So one of the things actually was pretty cool was we offered them a one-to-one call with myself. So I had 2 of those back to back, which is very interesting because these are smaller businesses who are looking for advice. And my job is to get on a call with them. They've given us a bunch of information. They've watched a bunch of content. There's been an onboarding. Team has already helped them out. So my job is to give them the most strategic help I possibly can as part of that process. You need to be speaking. I think even though it's already working, but I think having you speak like this is the key because people are going to want to, I think obviously, all the pages, you're not on them. You're not talking.
Yeah.
So that we have to film the VSLs. We have to have you speaking because it's very powerful. I think you will know exactly what to say to the person who is, let's say, on the other side. And you're like, I will tell you. But we need to have practical examples because then people would really be like, I get what you mean. Oh yeah, I've been through this. Or yes, it's actually what the coach told me. And now you're saying that would work.
Can I ask, would you want that done in a studio? Properly done, or would it be better UGC, it's very chill, relax, or is it better if it's in a proper studio?
So that was a quick call actually with Felicity, who's a coach who's doing really well. But we're going to help her essentially take it to the next level. So we're just going through her ads, VSL, funnels. But it's super interesting because she's against the personal development space, and she's going after the people that have paid for somebody else who's done some coaching, some personal development work, and essentially didn't work or didn't really get the results that they're really looking for, and that's her ICP. So yeah, super interesting, great call. Yeah, there's lots to do. I just love it because you have a whole new business and a whole new problem that they're having, and we've got to use our expertise to help them solve it. So now on to the next one. Look, in the early days of Genflow, a lot of people don't know this. I was doing meetups, creative meetups, etc. When we were trying to build a brand in the early days, I would do all that stuff to be known as the best place for creators. Creators want to be in a place where other successful creators are /experts, right? So you'll have to start positioning it like that. Maybe do an event with all your creators and they're going to do a talk. And you're on the panel with them. That'll position you as the expert. And then all of a sudden, other creators that follow them are going to be like, hey, I will start a referral scheme. Say to your clients, look, I want to grow my business. I would love your help. I've seen that these people follow you. Could you just DM them and say do they need any help? That's worked so well for me. The key insight in those 2 and others that I'm seeing again and again is every business owner needs to be thinking about organic content, and they need to be thinking about the funnel or where they're driving that traffic to get the end result. So you want more clients, you're funneling people in a certain way to do that. You want to get more customers, you have to do that. So that's the biggest thing we focus on, and the biggest problem that people have today with their business, that they have some clients or customers and they're kind of just cruising. They're not really engineering growth. And that's my biggest focus when I speak to these founders. If you currently have a business and you want my help, my team's help, you can always book a call down with us below and we can help you. So I've actually been working with Grace since 2016. She was actually one of the most earliest creators I ever helped. I think at the time she had 20,000 followers, and we launched in December 2016. And ever since, we've done so many different things, from physical events in the UK, even in the US, where thousands of people are lining up to come and see Grace, to selling the first ever resistant cloth band that was made, from doing multiple different programs, to then launching the Shreddy app, which hit number 1 on the App Store, to launching the productivity method, another whole business, to then even launching the business method, which is Grace's course, which sold really well. So in all the 9 years, we often, every 3 to 6 months, sit down for a strategy session. So the main focus for the meeting that we had was, you have the Grace Beverly personal brand. And in that, we have these businesses which essentially are monetizing her interest. So she's very into health and looking after herself. And, we saw the boom of improving your gut, etc. So we launched greens, which end up selling millions of dollars as a thing. She's known for productivity. She's written a book about it. She obviously has multiple multiple businesses ourselves. So we launched a business around productivity. So we were brainstorming like, what can we do with these businesses, but what else could we do? And what is going to happen with Grace over the next 2 years in her life, and how could we complement that, and what kind of stuff could we do? So that was like a big focus. But I think the key thing to take away for a lesson is the preparation. I'll quickly get something to eat. Let's just stay on plan. So going into the meeting, we've prepared like a 60-page presentation. I've done a deep dive on the numbers with Ollie, who leads the day-to-day of Shreddy, on like what is working and why. If someone comes and buys the product A, do they buy product B, C, and D? What's the lifetime value? If we run ads, what type of messaging and stuff is really helping it grow? The great thing is all the stats are suggesting that subscribers are staying, people are buying more, etc. So we have a great business. So it's all about like, how do we grow? Where do we pour all our effort? But that's all the preparation before, because going into a meeting, you have to make sure your narrative is the same. I can't be saying something else and the other guy is saying something else. So we have to sync before. And that's why when me and Ollie sat down before the meeting, we're getting our stories together. We're getting the narrative together. So then when we're going to be in the meeting, we're making sure our overall presentation and what we're talking about is super direct and clear to the other person of like, how can we help them? That's a massive thing for you to like get things right in big meetings. We just need to do it because the more people that have the product, the more it grows.
Yeah.
Long time, okay?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm trying to take it as high as it go. I've been by the code, how I be. I am a product of putting my curses to rest on my family.
We're building our platform in a more of a Shopify way. So there's like integrations, there's apps that you can have on, because we want other creative businesses to integrate and build with us.
Yeah, right.
Versus us being a closed shop.
Curses to rest on my family tree, can see growth. They tell me they free, but they work for the man. I can't relate, I did it on my own. Look how we grow out the concrete, 2 rows, stuck by the code. Kush got me back on the float.
So on Thursday, the plan actually was to do 3 podcasts, and unfortunately, I had to actually cancel 2. It's crazy for me to think that I can manage everything that I have to do, and I'll be able to go to 3 different locations in London. So the truth is, I cancelled 2, but we still made it to the first one. All right, so the next day, to be honest, I slept like 5-6 hours, but had to exercise, went to the gym. Now I'm here in Canary Wharf, just pulling up to the first podcast. So the plan for the day is we have 2 podcasts to do. I've got some calls, and then we have our free Creator College event later today. So I'll be jumping on that and have to present a few things as well with the guys. So the event is we do this free event. It's essentially a funnel, which allows us to bring new people into Creator College. We also have the new tonic launcher dropping. So I'll actually just speak to the team on Slack because one of the bundles is not working. So I'm like, let's scrap it. Let's just go live without it. So that's what I focus on. But yeah, another day. Just got to keep going. Let's do this.
Good to see you. You well?
I guess if you were trying to get big people today, the number one thing would be is to stand out. And in the way you try to approach people, it's commercially knowing what people like want. In my agency, I know what people want, so we've built those services. In a product, I know what people want, so you build the right products to sell to people. In its digital products, it's like, you know what people want, so it's like, ultimately, as I was saying, right, it's like people want something, we're going to sell that thing to people in the best way possible.
If I was dropped in a random country on earth, let's presume it's English speaking with no money, no connections, I'd be able to get back to the stage I am today within 5 years. Do you reckon you could?
I think I would be ahead.
You really think?
Yeah. Because I wouldn't have the baggage I have today, because I've always done so. Like I did with social media, I can't do it with AI because I have a job to do. So I think for me, if I had completely doing nothing, I think I'll be able to do something very good. And that's what excites me about the future is, and I guess one day when I sell Genflow or whatever that happens, because then I'll be able to sit and just do that. Because ultimately, I love to solve problems and create stuff. Imagine if I was only doing that, what would happen? So yeah, that's how. But again, see, going right to the start, that's like my positive belief. Just say like, we're like social, like written first.
Yeah.
Written social first. This is all I know. And your whole pitch would be like, let me tell you the science behind why this post did well. Like if I was you, that's how I would be pitching. I would not be pitching about your services. I'd be like, look guys.
Yeah.
The next 5 posts you need to do tomorrow are these.
Yeah.
First one is this. This is how it should be structured like this. This is why. And I've done this 17 times. And this is the total impressions when I do this type of post. Only my slide 1. It's immediately like, what the is this guy talking about? Versus like, this is who we are, how long we've been around and all that. Like I would cut all that out, go straight into like, this is what you guys should be posting.
Yeah.
So if whoever's doing it for you today is not doing good enough, or if they're not even doing it, like you're missing out. Alright, what's up? So we just go back to mine and I'm living in these apartments where there's like a co-working space. So we're just going to sit here and do some work. To be honest, like I always have a laptop with me, no matter where I'm going, what I'm doing, any opportunity you have, you just sit down and like just plug straight back in and get back to it. Just feel like super relaxed because anytime I can jump something and start doing things. So yeah, that's it. That's the plan for now. It's currently 1 o'clock. You've got to leave at 3 o'clock to go to the next podcast, which is at 4 o'clock. And the Credit College event starts at 5. Yeah, just got to do some calls now. Check up on a few things. The tonic actually goes live at 3 o'clock as well. So the promos and stuff should be going live. I've just made sure Amazon is live in terms of, so that's already live before just because it takes a bit of time for it to go live. But yeah, that's it. Let's get back to work.
Rebel soul child got a fist balled. I'm a respawn of ancestors and I'm blessed, They are not him, tell him fess up, I get checks.
The next thing that I had to manage and make sure it goes smooth was our Creator College Instagram Growth Method event. So this is an event that we're putting on, which is like free. Thousands of people are going to join. And essentially we have to make sure it's a smooth operation. But more importantly, we're getting the end result. So the whole idea is it's going to be like 2 hours. In that time, June's going to start and he's going to teach you like for an hour, actually like how to do content pillars, hooks, make content, all the stuff that essentially will take someone from not knowing how to produce content to produce content, to then he's going to move into the pitch, where the pitch is of Creator College. We are now live for our 4th VIP coaching cohort. We take 100 people on and help them. And the results that we're getting is insane. Like people going from 0 to 50,000 plus followers, people going from 0 to $10,000, $20,000 per month, people getting big brand deals. So full pitch, which we had to rehearse before. I had to make sure before the call, like it's all like watertight. So I ran through it with him and the team. Then after that, I move into audits. So we're doing live audits. People are like putting their handles in and we are live auditing their profile, their bios, live watching their content, giving feedback. I myself jumped in and did some live audits of people's funnels, the landing pages, what they need to do, what they need to fix. The whole thing is meant to be 2 hours. I believe we went 3 hours plus. And nobody ever does tactical like this. So I feel like what we're doing here with Credit College, it's very unique because a lot of people will say like they have the solution, buy my thing. I was like, we do it like in real time in front of you and then that makes people buy. It's a pretty cool experience because as you're talking, as everyone's talking, you see the sales coming in. And obviously it's so interesting because when you see that happening, then you can like stress a few more points because you're like, okay, it's working. Anyway, that was a massive thing to manage. So, maybe running a company that does 2-3 million, but this is my desk where I'm hosting an event with 2,000 live people right now. So yeah, it's been going pretty cool. We've been selling at the back of it. I'm just sitting here managing the chat, the people. I also spoke for a little bit. But yeah, I think what's really cool about all of this is that like I love being involved. Like I don't need to say here, I've been sitting here for 2 hours, but like you learn so much from people's comments. We're bringing people on stage. And from that, we learn so much. We learn like so much about what people are really saying and it gives me ideas. So I love being involved. So yeah, just sitting here doing this. We're almost done. It's been 2 hours something. We're like a few sales away from hitting our target for the day. And that's what it's really about. But yeah, I'm going to get back to it. That I've seen so many times over the years that when you get famous for doing something, the next thing is that then you get stuck doing that one thing. So it's liberating when you're like, wow, I can actually create content about other stuff and not only about the one thing that people followed me for. And that's your next stage of growth. What's been the biggest thing of, I guess, of us like working together for this experience that you've been in that you would say like, that's surprised you, is different than what you thought? Like, what would you say about that? And we're here. It's Friday. I'm here in a studio in the middle of London. And the truth is, I'm having to force myself to do this because running a business at this level, like, it's so hard in terms of time management and focus. But I know the importance of content. I know the importance of showing the world what you're doing so you can show your expertise, because it's the best way for you to be able to attract new people towards you. So that's why I'm forcing myself to even do this right now. We're just in a studio, just very close to our office. Straight after this, we have the second day of Credit College event. That's for 2 hours. Then I have 2 hours of my teaching in my Credit College, our third cohort, like the students. I've got to do that. And then I have so many other things I need to look at today in terms of my emails and getting back to people. So all that has to be done. So I think that's the key word there, that it has to be done. Like, there is no option of it not being done. Because if I wasn't to do it, so many other things won't happen. And I think that's like the thing that's hard when it comes to business, because you think you're leaving your job to start a business because in the job you have to do stuff, otherwise you'll get fired, right? But if you don't do them in your business, you will go bankrupt. Like, that's actually way worse, because you can always get another job. You can't just go and start another business. So some things that have to happen have to. So over the years, you get immune to it. Just has to be done. So you got to get up and do it. And what's even harder with the business is, because if something is yours, you are your own like level of, no one's telling me that it has to be done. I'm telling myself. And it's a hard thing to get right, and that essentially is how you grow, because you end up doing the hard necessary things that you think, that you normally wouldn't want to do. But then you end up doing them, and because of that, success comes. So it's like this cycle of doing so. And look, the truth is, a week like this is not really what I want to be doing. I don't want to be going here and there. I don't want to be sitting in a studio. I don't want to be going on trains and meeting clients and sitting with them. Like, the truth is, what you saw this week is actually not what I want to be doing. What I want to be doing is sitting on my desk and just working, because I love solving problems. I love creating new stuff. So even though like this video, I've put this video together, is to show, here's all the stuff that I have to do as a business owner. Here's all the stuff that I have to manage. But no way is this my goal, or it should be your goal, or you should look at something like this and think this is goals for you, or this is what you're trying to achieve. Similarly to how people are showing you, they're in France, they're living it up, it's summertime or whatever, because they're a business owner, time, location, freedom, whatever. No, what you should be chasing is the idea of that you will have the thing to sit and create and do what you really want to do from a business point of view. And that's what I love. Like, I cannot wait to get back to Dubai and sit on my desk and just get into the things that I want to figure out. And there's nothing more better than that. And look, if you want to see more behind the scenes stuff, just let me know. I may start actually filming like a weekly vlog or something. So let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.